Good morning, everyone. This is Fi. I just had breakfast, and we're going to check out Olaf the Boozer. Going to give this game a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. I've not heard of this game before, just saw it for the first time today. So we're going to go into it blind and see what we can figure out. It looks like the game only runs in the browser here, so that's why I have that on the capture. Let's go ahead and get rid of that overlay and just read this real quick. Did you have such a thing that you wake up after booze and can't remember what happened last night? I didn't, but our hero Olaf, with unenviable regularity, he wakes up in a dilapidated house and tries to remember how he did it. Your task as a player is to restore the hero's path from the bed to the front door, visiting each destroyed item only once. Game still be in development, new levels will be added soon. Global Game Jam 2020 submission. So it looks interesting. Haven't seen anything past what you're seeing on the screen here, so let's go ahead and click on play. Got a nice little beep sound there. So I kind of wish this was a little larger, but you can see all right. What a mess. What happened yesterday? I don't remember anything. Retrace your trail of destruction to the front gate. Alright, oh, that's pretty loud. Alright, let me Alright, I think we're gonna have to turn that volume down in the capture. That's pretty loud. It's kind of a issue that a lot of amateur games have, I've noticed, is that they tend to drop in sound effects that are like way too loud. So it's always a good idea to like compare the volume levels to other things you have on your computer. That being said, it looks like that ambient sound has kind of disappeared anyways. Looks like it has on-screen controls here, which suggests, you know, maybe it's mobile intended, as well as the orientation of the screen here. I'm hoping I can... Oh, it's just because I clicked off, that's why the ambient stopped. Okay, so hopefully that's not too loud in the capture. I had to turn my own volume down really low here. Okay, so I can't use arrow keys. I can use WSD, that's nice. So I'm assuming those are the only keys. And so it looks like we just touched these. I did notice there's a couple of these animations down here which kind of showed the game being played a little bit. So that kind of presented the idea to me that you're touching these by walking over them. Which could probably be explained better. You know, if I was to assume that I'd never saw any of these down here, then I might be a little more confused about what I'm doing here. But, so I got the idea it's one of these things where you're supposed to... Like, you're supposed to touch everything, but... Oh, okay, so I get it. So I was thinking it was the kind of thing where you're supposed to touch all these things, but like with the least amount of steps or that kind of thing, or like you can only go over each space once. Which is the idea I got from reading this and looking down here. But I think now looking at it, it's just the fact that you can't actually walk over these destroyed things again once you've like undestroyed them. So like this one right here, you can go over it and then I can't go back up. So that's kind of interesting. It seems like all this other empty space, it doesn't matter if you walk over this. But yeah, that could, you know, be explained in the game better, I'm sure. So it looks like I can go out here. I do have to hit the button every time I want to move here. So it does take a while to travel the extra distance here. Okay, so you don't have to go further than that. 500, 100% steps, 163. Okay, so it does keep track of your steps. I don't know if that'll actually amount to anything, but I guess if you want to... Oh, he's destroying everything again. Oh, he's just... Okay, I get it. So, kind of thematically here from from reading this and everything, I kind of figured out that he's trying to retrace his steps in the game here. So, like, it appears that after you do it successfully, then you get to watch what happened last night, sort of, as he goes through and destroys everything. So it's kind of a clever concept. Again, it's not really presented in the game very well, I don't think, but I think that's cool the way that works. Alright, So yeah, you have to, okay. Okay, so you go out the... This appears to be not the way to do it. Right, so I'm gonna get stuck here. The sounds and everything. I know this ambient sound is so loud that the actual sound effects being played are kind of not as loud, so you can't hear them as well. Can I just hit like the R key? Oh, it does work. Okay. So the transition was a bit slow for the restart. I would speed that up. But the other thing I was going to mention is when you're inputting the directions, you have to kind of wait for the character to move to the next space before you can punch in the next input. So if you try and move quickly, it just kind of eats the input if you do it too quickly. So what you can do is you can kind of buffer the next input, or like at least the next one, so it doesn't just eat the input. So if you want to move a little faster, you can do that. You might also just want to increase the maximum move speed potential, because this kind of game, especially if somebody thinks they know the answer already and they just want to like punch in all the directions they have to, they don't necessarily want to wait around. Like, I feel like it's even just not... Alright, this was already wrong because I was talking, I wasn't paying attention to how I was doing it. But even if I'm like not trying to play super fast or anything, I still notice it kind of eats some of my inputs here. So the things that I think could be kind of quality of life things that could improve here. What else was I going to say? I don't know, I forgot already. Alright, so I know the way to do this. You're just supposed to do this sort of thing. And yeah, like if you're in a situation where you like you basically figure the whole puzzle out, you just have to do like one thing different or something, and you've already done it a few times or something. Like when you restart it the next time, you might just want to kind of punch in the inputs rather quickly to just kind of go through it all, because you're not really, most people have the dexterity, they can just do the inputs accurately without having to be very slow or anything. So also this screen takes a little while. So I kind of get the impression, even though I kind of like that from a thematic perspective, I get the impression that after playing for not very long, probably most people would just want to skip that screen, just not care to watch it unfold every time. So why is there glass in my beard? Alright, so I assume there aren't any new, like, oh, well, these are different. I was thinking about like new mechanics, if there's going to be anything added. I don't know what this is, so we'll have to kind of experiment with that, I guess. But I guess we can just kind of look at the puzzle at first. We have another one of these situations where there's something kind of stacked in front of the door, so that suggests that I'm supposed to hit this first, I assume. I don't think I can do anything with that pile of wood there. Oh, this is just... it's not actually destroyed. And so there's a crate there that's just kind of blocking me. It's not actually something I have to touch, so that's kind of new, I guess. So I don't know. The footprints seem to have a directionality. It kind of looks like it starts here and then goes like this. I don't know if that's true, but... Oh. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so the directionality element didn't seem... I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but once I started on once I stepped on one of the footprints, it was kind of like I couldn't get off the path until I walked all the way back to the origin of it, so that's interesting. There's another one of these. What's that? Oh, okay, so this has not been destroyed. So again, this is another case where if it's something that hasn't been destroyed, it's just going to block me. It's not always super visually obvious. Maybe if the screen was a little bigger, you know, I could imagine somebody playing this and just not really looking that closely until like it was too late. Kind of like in this situation, like I kind of saw it, but I wasn't thinking about it until like it was kind of already too late. So I don't know if that's more to do with the visuals not being as clearly differentiated as they should be between the destroyed and not destroyed objects, or if that's more to do with like just the size of the gameplay screen and kind of how small it is on my screen here, but maybe something to think about. So then we have to do this. This part seems clear enough, and then so oh, can I go through this window? Oh, I bet I can go through this window because I don't see another way. Actually, yeah, I don't see another way to be able to get out, like get to here and then back in, except to go through this window. So I think that's what the idea is. So I don't think that's very clear. Like I wouldn't have assumed that you could go through that window unless, like, I was kind of able to figure out that there's not really a possible way to get to this object here without that being possible. So I think I'm going to want to go like this, and then that's fine. Go in here. Alright, so fix this stuff that's not broken. I think we just go out here, and then there's one door here, and then there's one over here, and I believe that's it. So it does say the 100% thing. I'm guessing that you could leave the level without completing everything, which is a little strange for sort of this kind of game. I don't know if that just lets you go into the next level, like if you just make it to the entrance. I kind of feel like testing that actually, but I don't know if it's a good idea to just like ignore. Okay, so there's a couple buttons at the top. I don't know. I mean, this kind of looks more like a restart. I might guess this goes back or something, and then we can actually turn off the ambient sound effects. That might be a good idea because they're so loud. Let me see if I can. I'm going to turn it back up in the capture here so maybe you can hear the sound effects. Let's go ahead and click on that. Oh, that's an undo button. Okay, so you can undo. So that's kind of a, I guess, more of a casual enabling sort of thing. It's not such a bad idea to have that sort of thing. Just make it less frustrating. And yeah, like if you do something accidentally, I don't think it's like, you know, I don't think it's the kind of thing that like makes the game too easy or anything, in my opinion. I think you still have to kind of figure out the puzzles. So it seems like a nice thing. And this, I assume, is the restart. So I don't know, like if there's a level select, that kind of thing. I was curious about what I said before, where it showed that 100%. It kind of made me think that maybe you could complete the level without actually doing all these things, which, you know, obviously it would seem to be a lot easier if you could just like go through the whole game like that and just kind of ignore half the levels or something, while still being able to progress. But like if there was some kind of a level select screen, then obviously it would show like, did you actually complete this level, or did you just like 50% it or something? And then I could understand, like, you know, wanting to go back and 100% everything, that kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe that's planned for the future or something, but it just seems a little strange, like with this kind of linear progression as it is right now, that you would be able to kind of fudge the game like that. It seems unusual, but also these clouds kind of cover up the level. It's kind of annoying. Most of the time it doesn't matter because it just kind of coincidentally doesn't happen at an important time, but like if you're just trying to look at things, then you just have to wait for the cloud to go past. It's kind of annoying, in my opinion. You know, maybe you could have them go like past here and here or something where they don't actually affect the gameplay. That might make more sense. All right, so let's look at this level. We've got a bunch of these doorways here, so we have to kind of figure out a way through. This is blocked. Oh, no, that's not. All right, so this is another thing that's a little, maybe the visual clarity isn't quite what it could be. Like these bucket things, I'm kind of leaning in close to the screen. These bucket things kind of look like they're not broken, but I kind of remember from past experience that you end up using them. You do have to walk over these. So it seems a little bit like the visual communication is a little bit iffy there, as to what is something you have to walk over and what isn't. Like, I'm assuming that this probably isn't. This is the clothesline looking thing. Same with this tree stump and such, but this looks kind of like a broken thing. So it's like you can figure it out, but it's not, maybe not the most clear. There's a couple of windows here which are a little bit, I don't know, they seem a little bit less obvious than like these openings where there was a door. So I wonder if there's a way to make that visually more clear too, but not such a big deal. As far as how to actually complete this particular level. See, in this case, I don't think it matters. Like, I could go up and touch this and then like go around, or I could just like not, and then I could go around and then I could touch this and keep going and that kind of thing. So I guess there are different paths that one could take in this case. You do have to go through here. Okay, so here we have kind of like three things stacked in front of a doorway, so that's potentially problematic because I believe that means that I absolutely have to walk through here. Because like if I just get this one and then I go around and then I get this and then get that, then I'm gonna be trapped and that kind of thing. So I think I have to go 1, 2, 3 through here. But okay, no, see, I think I kind of figured this out. So this is a little bit tricky, but we do have this set of windows that we can kind of exploit. So I think going this way through this isn't going to work because like, I think the way that this is set up, I have to go through in through here. So I think what's going to have to happen is I'm going to have to kind of go through in like this, and then I'm going to have to go up here, go around here, and then like down through here. So I have to not have fixed this one yet, and then I have to like go back out and through this way. So kind of a knot, a little bit complicated. So I already screwed this up. That was kind of stupid. I thought about everything else, but not about the room I was in immediately. So I think I can just do half the bed or table or whatever this is. That's kind of interesting. All right, so I think that's what we do here. So we just kind of go straight through here. We can get this. We don't want to fix that one in front of the window. Then we can go down. And I guess we want to do all these, and then I can go up. And it looks like I've trying to make sure I didn't miss anything, so I think that's it. I kind of I'm wondering maybe if it would make sense to have like a counter somewhere that shows like how many things are left. Like just in case, like it would be a little bit unfortunate if you like solved something and you're just like beelining for the exit, but there was like one thing somewhere that you just happen to miss. It might be nice to just have a little counter that shows, oh, you did it, and you can just go on and exit like that. But so yeah, this is kind of tricky. I mean, it's in a good way, I think. Kind of hard to judge the difficulty of stuff like this. You know, it's always going to be player dependent, like how hard it is. But you know, some things are like, you could say hard in a bad way. It's more to do with things not being clear, like not being communicated right, or something just being misleading. But I don't think that's going on in this case. So it's kind of cool to see tricky stuff. Now I think my appearance changed a little. I haven't really been paying that much attention to my character sprite. This looks like an axe. I kind of thought hammer at first, but I believe that's a double-bladed axe. And then we have something that looks like a stove. Alright, so I got kind of equipped with my armor and stuff. I don't know if that functions somehow differently from all the other stuff you just walk over. It's kind of weird. Another thing I notice, again, I'm kind of leaning in close. I guess the doors and the whatever this stuff is has like a slightly different color to it. I was kind of curious what that is. What was at first, but I guess it's consistent with all the doors have a slightly different color. Probably completely irrelevant, but I just noticed the difference like here. I was curious about it. I guess. Well, I guess I could think about it first. So there's a thing blocking right here. I'm assuming this is not broken and therefore I can't walk over it. It's a little hard to tell, but I think that's the case. Oh, wait, is that broken? It looks kind of broken, but like it looks like one of these, but this looks more broken than that. So I think this is broken, but again, like the visual communication isn't always as good as it probably could be. So how do we do this? I mean, we can go around here. The thing is, like, if I go through here and then I come to here, you must be able to walk over this because I don't see any other way that you could get. Go back here and get these. So let's just experiment a little here. I'm going to guess a bit because I didn't want to like figure everything out before I did it necessarily. Again, with this cloud, it's kind of annoying. All right, there's an anvil here. I'm assuming that's just, oh, looks like some armor. Yeah, that's just a random not broken item or object. Oh, I guess this turns off all the sounds, so I didn't get any of the sound effects, even though I switched that off. So it makes me kind of want to, just real quick, kind of switch that back on just for the sake of, just going to adjust the volume again. Just want to represent the game as it's intended, I suppose. Alright, so that was a flower pot, I guess? Or a vase, or whatever you call that. Alright, so I guess we'll just get all these. Then I suppose. So I think that's it. This wasn't, I feel like this was easier than the last one. Yeah, looks like we did it right. Oh, I guess that was it. Alright, we got menu here. Oh, that doesn't do anything to click on this for some reason. Maybe it just wasn't implemented yet. Wait a minute. Oh, I can click here? Oh, you can see it, the tooltip on the mouse. It kind of... Alright, so it looks like that was misplaced or something. Alright, so we just have play. So, yeah, obviously it's unfinished, but pretty cool so far. I wonder if you might incorporate other mechanics. I thought the window thing was kind of cool, but it was only done, like, with the footsteps. That seemed like a clever concept, but it was only done once, so it was almost like I didn't really get to even kind of figure out what how it would really contribute to the gameplay because I only experienced it once ever, and it just you know, didn't give me enough time to really familiarize myself with that idea even. So yeah, it'd be nice to see that explored more and whatever else you had in the last level, I think, where you kind of started out naked and then you picked up your armor and stuff. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if that was, you know, somehow mechanically different from everything else you have to walk over, or if it was just like a visual, you know, just something to add visual spice or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'd you know, hope to see a few more mechanics or whatever. But as it is, you know, pretty functional and enjoyable enough as a puzzle game, and would be interested to see where else you take it. So hopefully this video is useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next one.